So the Indiana Fever have the most deadly offensive team of all time. And I mean that. They're not going to be the best team of all time. They might not even win a championship. They're probably not going to win a championship. But they have the most deadly offensive team in the history of the WNBA. They've got 5 players, not like in the top 28 in scoring. 5 from last season. They added, like they had one of the highest scoring big threes in the WNBA. Like I'm trying to think off the top of my head who was a higher scoring big three. Jonquel, Stewie, and Sabrina. Maybe. Did Jonquel score more than Aaliyah? Maybe. And then you obviously had, without question, the age of Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum. And I think they scored more than Jewel, Nneka, and Skyler. The big three in Indiana. Either way, it was one of the best offensive big threes in the WNBA. And you add a 17.5 point and a 15 point per game score to that, which is crazy. Like, what is the average between just these players? So you're looking at 70 points. You're looking at 84 points per game for all 5 of these. They're obviously not going to keep up their averages. And that's one of the things is like a lot of people talk about saying Caitlin Clark is going to average 25 points per game. She's not. I think it's more likely that Caitlin Clark averages double assists and averages over 21 points per game. But my prediction is that someone like a DeWanna Bonner is going to go down to like 10. I think Aaliyah Boston might go to below 10 points per game. I think she'll be like an 8 and 9 type player this year. But her assists are probably going to pick up to 4 to 5 a game. And Kelsey Mitchell is probably going to go, I reckon, Natasha Howard, I have a weird feeling, is going to average 16 a game on just open layups. Then obviously Kelsey Mitchell is like still does what she does. If she plays off the ball, she's great. If she goes dribble, sidestep along too. Like Kelsey Mitchell, sometimes the most deadly off the ball player in the WNBA. Sometimes she's worse Enrique. So you just kind of hope for that Kelsey Mitchell, it is the 10-game stretch post-Olympic break and not pre-Olympic break Kelsey Mitchell or playoffs Kelsey Mitchell. But I think that was a Christy Sides problem more than anything else. But yeah, with this 5, and not only that, you've got Lexi Hull, in fairness, she's probably not going to score much next year, but you've got Sophie Cunningham off the bench. You've got Damaris Dantas off the bench. And I think their bench players are just going to be spark scorers. They're going to be players that come in and can give you a little bit and maybe occasionally drop 10 points in a game. But they're going to be mostly there for defense. Like, it'll be interesting to see which of Damaris Dantas or Bree Turner is first in the rotation, because Dantas is all out offense and Bree Turner is all out defense. One is poor at one end, one is poor on the other end. But with the Indiana Fever, there is one potential issue with their offense. And it's when the ball is not in Caitlin Clark's or Aaliyah Boston's hand, there's nobody that will set up anything for anyone else. Like DeWanna Bonner is the offense stops here type player. Kelsey Mitchell is the offense stops here type player. And so is Natasha Howard. These are 3 players that are going to attack the basket and shoot on a lot of possessions. They are players that are score first. Whatever happens, happens. I still think their offense will be better than last year, just because I feel like Nalissa Smith was a non-factor, and I felt like she got in the way more often than she helped. But what I really do hope is that the Indiana Fever continue to play a fast-paced offense, and that Caitlin doesn't get relegated into being the passer. That's what I hope. And like, she's talking about, like Stephanie was talking about playing Caitlin off the ball, and I really hope that it's not in the way Christy Sides did. Like, Caitlin Clark can be really effective off the ball, just it needs the right coach for that. And then you need certain lineups, because I don't know if Kelsey Mitchell can be used as a passing point guard in an offense. You would have to almost run through a Boston and a Jokic type role for that to work out. But obviously, there has not been this amount of firepower on a team, I don't know, maybe since, I was about to say ever. Offensive firepower, I'll go ever. Firepower in general, the damn 2023 aces. Before Candace Parker got hurt, you had Candace Parker, and what had Candace Parker coming off? Like, obviously, I know Kelsey Plum was coming off her best season in 2022, where she had scored over 20. Jackie Young was starting to become a star, and obviously Aja Wilson was great. Chelsea Gray was still, I'm pretty sure Chelsea Gray was a double-digit scorer. I just want to see when it comes to Candace Parker, what she was averaging coming into that season. Like, I know obviously it was her last season in the WNBA, and she was averaging 9, but she was averaging 13.2, so it was like 13.2, 20 for Kelsey Plum, over 20 for Aja, and then like probably low enough double digits for Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young, probably 15. So it was probably a similar amount of total points. But for me, the best thing about this offense is that you have the best offensive orchestrator in the WNBA in Caitlin Clark. You've got the player who's better than anyone else at getting teammates free, at using her gravity to get teammates free. Yes, in an isolation, Chelsea Gray is better at making fancy passes. She makes the cooler passes. But what Chelsea Gray doesn't do is create the space. Like, if someone is free, Chelsea Gray will find them. Whereas Caitlin Clark creates the space for the players to be free. Like, Caitlin Clark is what draws the gravity and allows players to become free. Chelsea Gray will find a player when they're free. There's a huge difference in the two of those, like, point guard styles. Like, it's like comparing as a passer, comparing Tyrese Halliburton. Not even Tyrese Halliburton. It's like comparing, there's no comparison really to Caitlin Clark, but like Chelsea Gray is almost, her passing is almost like a Jason Williams type thing. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the offense works. Preseason, I think there will be growing pains in preseason. I really think there's going to be growing pains in preseason because, like, DeWanna Bonner is going to be in Indiana. Aaliyah will be in Indiana early. So will Kelsey. She's come back from China. And it's just the fact that Natasha Howard comes back so late in the year, especially if her team goes and makes the EuroLeague final. Like, she's going to be back so soon before the WNBA season that I'm not sure they'll be getting much chemistry with her. But the positives is that obviously, like, Sophie Cunningham will be there. Lexi will be back after Unrivaled. And we'll be able to see, hopefully, the best offense in the WNBA again this year. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think the Fever are going to be a really good offensive team? Do you guys think there's going to be growing pains? And I do think, for me, I wouldn't be that surprised to see the Fever like 5-4 after 9 games. Something along those lines. Like, I think that there's going to be growing pains, just like last year, where I think they're going to grow and get better and better as the season goes on. But I also don't think they're going to start off 1-8 like they did last year. So they'll definitely have a better record. But anyway, I'll see you guys.